All right, guys. Hello and welcome back. So, before I get into the video, please feel free to hop in the Discord. It'll be linked in the description below. If you like these type of videos, if you want to join a trading community, I'm in a Discord and it's linked in the description. Nothing that is monetized or anything like that. I mentioned it earlier. This channel is essentially just a trading journal. With that said, let me clear a few things. So, as you might have noticed, I did not make an SR redraw. Hold up. I'm going to turn up the sound now. Watch your mic. Not your mic, your headset, bro. All right, there we go. So, I didn't make a video on SR redraw because what is the point? And you can see I'm on full screen now. What is the point? Everything has been gapping. It's a complete, we've gone from a CR to a complete BO market. And there is no point in redrawing when you're in that kind of market. And that's, I mean, it seems like the you guys in the Discord, because I'm making the videos for you guys in the Discord, like you guys have understood it. If all our levels get blown out, what the fuck is the point of drawing those levels? Now, secondary, I'm gonna get to the Iran war. I want to talk a little bit about that. Because what some people noticed in the Discord is I sold a shitload of stocks one day before. And I'm going to show you that. I'm going to make this smaller, make myself smaller. So you can see I sold, don't worry about the Norwegian, I'm from Norway, on the 27th. If you go on Wikipedia, so the 2026 Iran conflict started on the 28th. I mean, kind of started a little bit earlier, but I got on the 27th. It started on the 28th. I also made a video. Let me show you here. A day before. How to get ready for when the war starts now. So I've had some understanding and some insight into it. And I want to share that with you. And again, I'm not selling any courses or anything. And don't take everything I say at complete value. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm wrong all the time. My win rate on trades isn't 100% right. And it never will be. So there's that component. Now I want to get to the war part. So this, if you want to get the full picture of the war, I'd recommend watching my video called Greenland, Venezuela, and Iran Explained. So I won't get into all of that because that took me 40 minutes to explain. But what I will explain is what type of warfare Trump is conducting. And I'm not a war expert. I'm not a military analyst. I'm referring in terms of policy and engagement strategy. There's a huge differentiator between how Trump is doing it and how, for example, Bush did it. Because you can see these conflicts are very different. When it comes to Trump, he wants to get in quick and get it done quick and achieve his objective quick. He took Maduro's bitch ass, 2 days, gone. No, it wasn't two, it was 2 hours, gone. Put his ass in prison, took the oil, told the next person, Rodriguez, that she has to listen or she'll get caught too. Done. And it worked, right? No casualties on the American side, zero casualties. They achieved their objective. And you can clearly see that there's a deviation here from the Bush policy. There isn't, I mean, they were talking about freedom and democracy. They're always going to do that bullshit. They don't really give a shit, though. But you can see there's a deviance here. Trump would have invaded it. No, I mean, Bush would have invaded it, put boots on the ground, a bunch of people killed, tried to start putting up a new government, put the opposition in power, fucked the economy, fucked everything, fucked everyone. Fucking 20,000 dead Americans, 200,000 dead Venezuelans, 8 million refugees. It would have been hell, okay? And that's where Iran comes in. Because with Iran, they're going to do the same. If you've been following, if you're in my Discord, I know those are the most loyal viewers. You can see that in this fucking language right here. What the fuck does it say? Regardless, the entire leadership has been murdered. They've all been taken out. They're all dead. Dead. Even the man himself at the top, the Ayatollah, is dead. He is gone. Oh fuck, I didn't, hold up. Let me make this, I thought I made the screen smaller. Sorry about that. Here we go. Yeah, here. So these guys have all been smoked. Including the Ayatollah himself, the dude in top, everyone. They're dead. So Trump isn't going to put troops on the ground. No, he's not going to do that. He is way too much against how the Iraq War was conducted, with fucking again, Bush retarded ass spending trillions of dollars trying to build what they called. I remember. I'm old enough to remember. They called it that. They said we can't get perfect democracy. We'll make an Iraqracy, fucking idiots. And then the ISIS hellhole. Now it's the shithole of the earth. It's the worst country on earth. I mean, or you got Somalia, but I mean, it's up there. All right. So what Trump wants to do, he wants to cap the leadership, like cap them like that, and then get someone in that's more agreeable. The only problem with the Iran conflict, which can make it a lot more protracted, is that it is a lot more ideologically based than, say, the one in Venezuela. The Venezuelan one is officially a socialist government. But in reality, we know it's just a plutocracy. They just want to protect their interests. They want to stay rich. They want to stay in power. Like Nancy fucking Rodriguez gives a shit. She just wants money, bro. We all heard the rumors that she got $50 million and all that. So we don't know how the Iranian government is going to react. Iran. People say so many whatever different ways. Iran, whatever. They're more ideologically motivated over there, and they're more radicalized, and they seem to get more radicalized the more Trump is capping their leadership, which can lead to protracted warfare. But again, we don't know. There might come a leader in which thinks, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not gonna fucking die. Yo, Trump, what do you want me to do? And then it's over. But we don't know. And that's where the market comes in. Now, this is where we come in, guys. Where we make our money. Bread. Moolah. So let me open SPY, by the way. Has there been any Israeli casualties? It's just been Americans and Iranians, right? And of course the Gulf states. If we look at SPY over here, you can see that SPY hasn't really been affected that negatively. And what does that mean, right? This isn't even like a pullback. Mind you, this is on the 2 week time frame. We're still in the uptrend. It's a bit of a stagnation. That's it. And why is that? And why the fuck does that matter? It matters a lot. It matters a lot. That's why we go through it every day. And if we look at the dollar index as well, it's within the range. The only things that have popped off somewhat have been gold, which didn't even hit new all-time highs, and crude, which popped off. Crude popped off. Gold popped off and crude popped off. But crude gapped and shit. I recommended people staying out of that. Some did listen on how to enter it, made good money. Some didn't. Obviously lost money. But here's the thing. I made this little list here on why that is. Why we're seeing this resilience. And why you shouldn't trust this so much. Because I got these questions in the Discord. Like, why didn't gold just explode? Like, what's going on, bro? Like, why are we not seeing more volatility? Like, what the fuck? There is a few points to that. They're what I call SPY reflexes, okay? I don't know if that's a proper term. Don't give a shit. Regardless, I don't give a shit because it's not the point. There are a few things. First off, we have the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which is, if you're not familiar with U.S. domestic policy, this is Trump and his bill, which he implemented in his first term, which were tax cuts, tax reforms, removing some deductions, changing some things up, lowering overall rates. There was a lot of debate over the SALT deduction, removing that. It's called, what the fuck does it stand for? State and local tax deduction, because people felt like blue states were funding red states. I don't know if you know this, but if you live in, say, California, where they have very, very high income taxes, the state does, you can write that off your federal taxes. But if you live in Texas, where they have a 0% income tax rate, that means you are subsidizing them writing off your federal rate, their federal rate, because you can't write anything off, right? So they could just hike their rates and then cut it off through the SALT deduction. Anyways, with these lower rates, this is bullet. I'm not going to talk about if it's good or bad or anything like that. I'm going to talk about the economic component here, the financial component. This is bullish. This strengthens SPY. This has made a more robust economy that we can see reflected here. And when I'm talking about a more robust economy, I'm talking about in isolation. I don't know if there's a bubble and SPY is down 50% tomorrow. I have no fucking idea if that happens. Who the fuck can know that, right? Not me. Secondary, there is that 1 to 10 regulatory executive order. So, if you don't know, in case you didn't know, there's like 10 trillion fucking regulations in the United States. It's because since 1776, when the Declaration of Independence was declared, they've been introducing regulations for this and that and this and that and this and that as times have changed. But they don't remove them. They don't expire, all right? So there's a lot of old junk, things that are overlapping, double regulations, things that don't make sense, but you still need people, regulatory compliance offices and bullshit. So what is Trump doing there? He's saying each time a department, let's say DOE, Department of Education, wants to get in a new regulation. They gotta fuck off 10 regulations. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna find some old ass bullshit that is no bearing on anything in daily life, but it has a bearing on the economy. Essentially just an economic dead weight. Those get fucked off. And that is constantly saving the United States money. Those deadweight compliance jobs and deadweight compliance costs that are being reduced are turned into productivity, right? Because if you own a firm, you need to have some like 3 dudes that handle regulations. Now you need 2. Oh, nice. You can invest more, you can expand your company, la 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 la. Okay? So that helps. That makes SPY more robust. In that sense, you get a more stable economy. Secondly, we're going to get to the inflation part. Because this is more important in my opinion when it comes to what we're talking about. First off, you got the Doge thing with Elon Musk in it, and it was the Department of fucking Waste or some shit. And they cut quite a lot of spending. Not as much as they wanted to, but they did their best, okay? And they cut some spending. Why does that matter? And there were some permanent spending cuts, reduction in the deficit, that kind of thing. The U.S. is still running a huge deficit, but the deficit is on the way down now. At least that means something, I guess. But I mean, it's still huge. It's still there, but yeah. That means that there's less inflation because, or less inflationary drive because that deficit is purely inflationary spending. You understand me? Because all that money has to be borrowed. How do they borrow that shit? The Fed prints. Brr, they get that money out. That's how the fuck they get that money when they're running a deficit. That creates inflation. Secondly, you had the end of the Ukraine QE. That's a huge one. So the quantitative easing that Biden was doing for Ukraine has stopped. And that's a huge one. That was a massive inflationary drive for the United States. Trump has stopped that. There hasn't been a single fucking one. None. Zero. Third, there is the big beautiful bill and memes about it and shit. I'm not gonna get into that. This is a finance channel. Don't give a shit. Let's be professionals. Let's try to make money. Fuck. The big beautiful bill. It is spending reform related. It includes a lot of stuff. But again, it cuts the deficit. So there's, again, less inflationary drive. And, you know, you might ask, like, bro, what does that matter? Like, fuck the inflation, bro. I make more trading. Yeah. Fuck you. Okay, listen to me. It matters because with a lower inflationary drive, Trump can do his tariff fucking policies all around. And tariffs, I mean, they're not good. I'm not saying they're good, but they increase wages. That's the trade-off with tariffs. They increase wages, okay? But they also increase tariffs. No, inflation, sorry. And generally, they increase inflation more than wages. So in effect, purchase power goes down. But with all these fucking Trump measurements, inflation is staying low. While he's putting worldwide tariffs. He just introduced 15% on the whole fucking world. Did the US spike in inflation? No. It went down. Now you understand why. I've explained it all to you. And what's going to happen when that goes down? The motherfucking interest rate goes down. The US interest rate, we're going to see rate cuts, most likely. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that rate cuts are very bullish. I like to say that the interest rate is the gravity of the market, bro. If interest rates go up, the market goes down. It always reacts poorly to it, even just on news on it. Like fucking that Powell meme. Like, if he said good day, like the market goes up, depending on how he fucking starts. Because I don't remember what he says, but he starts it with a certain word, and that means that rates get cut or that they don't. So that people are gambling on that. But that's like Wall Street bet shit. And when you look at all of these things in its totality, you can see why Trump has created a robust economy in the sense that we're talking about. It's not a political statement. That's why SPY hasn't gone down 20%. Why would it? It has all these incentives to not go down. It keeps getting incentivized to go up. He's doing all these drivers of economic growth. He's raising wages. He's cutting taxes. He's keeping inflation low. He's getting interest rates down again. People can borrow money, start businesses. And again, the war most likely is going to try to just cap the leadership until he finds someone that listens to him. He's like fucking, he's like Michael Corleone with this shit, bro. Really fucked up, bro. He doesn't listen. Whack his ass. You're gonna listen. That's the way he does it. So, like I mentioned in my Discord, I said like, he's what Bush would have been if Bush wasn't fucking retarded. That's why you're not seeing all of this shit. And people were asking me so much in the Discord, like, why hasn't gold like hit all-time new highs? Why isn't everyone fucking panicking and like, why isn't SPY dumping? Now I've explained it all to you in a manner as simple as possible. When I make these videos, I fucking hate when I watch these fucking faggots make these finance videos and they try to talk in financial terms, sound intelligent, all that goofy ass shit. Like, I studied economics, right? And you don't need to use any difficult terms, bro. You should be able to explain this shit to your 10-year-old cousin. Like, Timmy, you had to pay 20% to me before. 20%. That's 1/5. One. So you get 5. You had to give me 1. Now it's 10%, Timmy. 10%. That means you got 10 before you got to give me 1. Can you explain to fucking 10-year-old, okay? So hopefully it was understandable. If there are any more questions or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment in the description. I'll always answer those. And feel free to hop in the Discord. That'll be open to everyone, and it always will. Again, it's not monetized or any motherfucking thing like that. I don't sell courses. I don't do that shit. And by the fucking way, the fuck? Yeah. I'm not even gonna comment on that one. But wait, what the fuck was I saying? That fucked me up, that message. Yeah, I was saying something about the Discord being free. Everyone can join. Yeah, so feel free to just hop in. I'm never going to monetize it on Full-Time Trader. Oh, yeah, what I was going to mention is my $100,000 got held up because of the Norwegian. I'm doing the $100,000 to $300,000 challenge which is going to be pretty fun. It's going to be a live account. You can watch it like I'm going to put out an investor link so you can watch it like Spy basically. And then I'm going to give credit where credit is due after that fucking challenge. My moderator, one of them, motherfucker. This guy right here. Look at this Godfather and shit, bro. Maybe that is Trump. But yeah, this guy right here, he said after the 10, after the 100 grand to 300 grand challenge in 2-3 months, it would be cool if you did something crazy, but with a smaller amount. For example, $10,000 to $100,000, which intrigued me, which I'm very interested in doing. That would be fun, and because I'm always on the high time frame with doing 1 day trades and that kind of stuff, always. But I do own a hedge fund, and you guys in my Discord know I do scalp a lot for actual aggression for the degenerates in my hedge fund. So I can show you if with investor profiles how that work. Am I gonna be able to do 1,000% in like 3-4 months? Probably not. It's probably gonna blow to fucking hell. But I mean, it's 10 grand, so I don't give a fuck about losing it. So I did 100 grand too. I was like, should I do 1 mil, 100 grand? Nah, fuck that. I gotta do 100 grand. Like, so I would be pissed if I lost a mil. I'd have like the whole day would be fucked. The whole day, I'd be annoyed the whole fucking day, and I'm not gonna bother with that. But right now, Norwegian. No, that's not how you say it. The Norwegian. I went to school in the United States. Got some English. So the Norwegian regulatory system is fucking with me right now. So I can't fucking move my fucking money into my fucking trading account because they're holding it back. They're like, oh, you can't trade like this, yada yada. And Norway is very, I'm not gonna get into it. It would be another 30 minutes of talking, but it's extremely restrictive. It's one of the most restrictive countries on earth when it comes to this shit. I have to explain exactly what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, why it's not gambling. Gambling is illegal in Norway. What the reason behind it is, and that has to get approved. Like I can't just put my money in a brokerage. They have to. My fucking bank has to approve that. They send that to the police. They send that to the fucking tax authorities, and they send it to some other fucking regulatory authority. The finance industry bullshit, whatever you call it, in Norway, to see that I have the correct regulations, that I'm regulated correctly to do what they call speculation. Speculate in currencies or cryptos. And then on top of that, my effective tax rate is what the fuck is it? I don't know, bro. But it's almost 70%. And how is it 70%, bro? I asked ChatGPT and it said it's just 50% in Norway. Bro. I gotta pay a wealth tax on it. I gotta pay an unrealized gains tax on it. Yes, we have unrealized gains on it. If your dividends is on a drip, you gotta pay taxes on that shit here. And then then after that, when I take that shit out, they slice 50% right the fuck out. And many people ask me, so why haven't you moved? Motherfucker, I am gonna move, but I'm indicted. I'm fucking indicted on a RICO trial. We even got the fucking channel in here. My name is Rune. Rune versus RICO. We got this little fun channel in here. Fighting the RICO case. I had that case on me for like 6 fucking years. Fucking bored of it by now. Boring. I'm innocent too. Completely innocently accused. Fucking sham trial. But I mean, I have a lot of confidence in the Norwegian justice system. It is really good. So I believe that when I get my day in trial, I can prove my innocence, and I'm very happy to do so. I've been pushing for many years now for them to take me to trial. Don't ask me about no fucking deal, nothing, no, no, no. Take me to trial so I can prove that I'm innocent. Take me to trial. And I was originally indicted in October, and then they pussied off. They were like, oh, he might get acquitted. We were lacking evidence. That was like after 5 years after it happened, October last year. And then they moved it to January, and then they were like, oh, nah, shit. Fuck, he might get acquitted. And the judge was like, yeah, you should bring this to court. And I was like, yo, bring it to court. And they moved it again to now June. So we'll see how long they fucking dick me around. But the thing is, I'm not gonna just run away or some shit. I'm gonna prove that I'm innocent. I wanna have my day in court. It's like how democracy is. Someone says something, you've done something wrong. And in a democracy, you go in front of a judge, present your cases. Judge says guilty, not guilty. We don't have a jury, by the way. Just so you know. They removed that. So some feminists removed it because they were acquitting too many rapes or some shit. Fucking stupid, bro. But anyways, that's the point of that. I hope this was a learning experience, a good learning experience. I hope it helped you get some understanding of things. And I will probably not see you tomorrow because I don't trade these BO markets like this. This is just not my market. I can't SR draw because everything's just getting blown out. Backs blown out. But with that said, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in my Discord. That's all I've got for now. Bye-bye.